We have. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
sige, go ahead, please.
Initially, Mr. Chair and and the members of the Joint Committee, we would like to present first a short video presentation of some of the crimes that we have found during our raids against scam farms. With the indulgence of the committee po, this will just be a very short.
Okay,
Mr.
please
Chair.
proceed.
The rise of Philippine offshore gaming operations, POGOs, in the Philippines has led to a complex scenario involving legitimate businesses and opportunistic individuals. The industry's rapid expansion has outpaced the government's regulatory capabilities, creating a regulatory void exploited by illicit operators. Likewise, loopholes in POGO employee background checks have allowed individuals with questionable backgrounds to enter the industry, damaging its reputation. POGOs have become a significant driver of transnational crime in the nation, disrupting peace due to various criminal activities linked to them. These offenses range from romance and investment scams, trafficking, and illegal online gambling to kidnapping, tax evasion, money laundering, drug trafficking, murder, and even SIM card law violations and telecommunications fraud. The prevalence of such crimes has raised alarms not only locally, but also globally. The intricate network involving POGOs, local service providers, and government officials has fueled corruption and illicit activities, with global repercussions such as POGO-related scams affecting individuals and businesses worldwide. One notorious scam, the Love Scam, employs a detailed manual of operations, utilizing deceptive recruitment strategies on social media platforms like Facebook, with an intensive daily schedule forcing workers into 16 to 18-hour shifts, targeting vulnerable groups, including individuals aged 35 and above. They gather personal information and encourage communication on platforms like WhatsApp or Telegram. Scammers employ detailed character stories, multiple accounts, and folders with stock pictures to maintain false identities, following a meticulously planned timeline and activity schedule for interactions. For video calls, scammers are prepared with designated rooms for various settings. Once the scammers gain the trust of their victims, they would then introduce them to fraudulent investments involving cryptocurrencies. The scammers provide instructions on how their victims would invest in these cryptocurrency schemes, mostly through links. Once they invested in these, the scammers would cut off all communications with them and run away with their invested money. Additionally, a violation list outlines penalties for rule infractions, and non-compliant employees face torture methods such as beatings and use of tasers. Resigning employees are charged with fees ranging from 150,000 to 500,000 pesos, further highlighting the exploitative nature of the operation. The convergence of these elements paints a grim picture of the POGO industry as a hub for various transnational crimes, posing severe challenges to law enforcement and regulatory bodies globally. The need for concerted international efforts to combat the multifaceted threats arising from the POGO ecosystem is evident, as these activities have far-reaching consequences affecting individuals, businesses, and the overall stability of global financial systems. In response, the Philippine Amusement and Gaming Corporation, PAGCOR, introduced the Internet Gaming License, IGL, in July 2023, replacing the old POGO framework. This legal authorization allows operators to offer online gaming services within the Philippines, subject to PAGCOR's regulations. PAGCOR is currently enforcing a stricter regulatory mechanism to police IGLs. However, this transition did not change the fact that there are at least 402 unlicensed POGOs, support providers, local gaming agents, and special class of BPOs left unchecked in the whole country and without knowledge of its current status quo. As of June 24, 2024, PAGCOR has listed 38 IGLs with regular licenses, 7 with provisional licenses, and 14 special class of BPOs. This transition has also led to the displacement of foreign workers who are now walking in the streets without proper immigration documents. According to PAGCOR's manpower count summary, as of May 2024, there are now 61,767 IGL POGO workers in the country, including 31,322 Filipinos and 30,445 foreign nationals. Through continuous effort, these numbers have been reduced after the diligent operations conducted by the Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission, PAOCC, and law enforcement agencies against POGO's IGL.
Here. Now, if we would be allowed, we would like to present the timeline that led to the operation against Bamban Tarlac, otherwise known as the Bauhu compound. This will just be a very short timeline, just to provide us a clear picture of what transpired prior, before, and during the raid.
Okay, please proceed.
Okay. We're actually talking of Baupu Land Development, the real estate company that owns the compound, 7.9 hectares of land. We're also talking of Hongsheng Gaming Technology, the former Pogo that was whose permit was eventually cancelled for various violations. Then lastly, the Sunyu One Technology, the last IGL/Pogo that was raided last March 14, 2024 for a number of violations. Now, if you would look at the timeline po, okay, so Baupu Land Development started as early as 2022, but by that time, the then private citizen Alice Leal Guo, or Guwaping, was only at the beginning of her buying spree. She was buying lands from as low as 200 square meters to several hectares. Now, this is very crucial because we would like to present to the honorable body and to the other resource persons that the game plan of the honorable Mayor Alice Leal Guo was not really just to invest in land, but rather to develop that real estate property into what would become a scam farm eventually. There was a grand design as early as 2020. Okay. Now, if you would take a look at the next part therein, you would see that she was able to seek the reclassification of what was formerly an agricultural pieces of land. 7.9 hectares of those of agricultural land was reclassified into agricultural, commercial, and residential. So from agricultural, it eventually became commercial residential in a span of less than 2 weeks from the date of application.
Chairman, nung ginawa niya, hindi pa siya mayor.
Hindi pa po. She was still a private citizen, Your Honor.
So at that time, powerful na rin siya para niya ma-control yung council ng Bamban, di ba?
Yes, sir.
Kasi to convert yung land into commercial, kailangan mo na act ng council, di ba?
Yes, sir. Titinan po natin, nag-execute po ng deeds of sale as early for then Alice Leal Guo. Remember po doon sa Senate hearing, her contention was her equity was only for the land, the use of her 7.9 hectare land. But that was not the actual design that we saw as we investigated the documents that we obtained from the different agencies of government. No? So makita po ninyo, the primary person of interest there would be Wang Xiyang or Xiyang Wang. Si Mr. Xiyang Wang, the treasurer of Baupu Land Development, is a fugitive now. Mr. Xiyang Wang was seen in many Pogo hubs. As early as Sun Valley, he was already an incorporator. So all the way to Lucky South 99, the one raided in Porac, the footprints of Mr. Xiyang Wang was very much latent. Okay. Next slide, please. We were able to prove through our contentions submitted in court, no, that the design of Ms. Guo to buy all of those 7.9 hectares of land was really to be able to develop such for a POGO purpose, a scam hub purpose. So, ayun na nga po, hindi pa po siya mayor, nag-intervene na po si Alice Guo on September 16, 2020 to be able to obtain the letter of no objection. And she was able to get that. Okay? But remember, that was for Hongsheng, hindi pa po yung Sunyu One. So, her contention that she is not in any way connected to any of the Pogo is very dubious because her name is in the letter of no objection for Hongsheng. So, they were operating even without documents from PAGCOR. Ganon po sila sa ka-blatant. Next slide, please. Okay? Tandaan ho natin, si Hongsheng na isyuhan lamang ng OGL offshore gaming license only on March 1, 2020. But they were already raided December of 2020. No? So, 2021 lamang nakuha ang kanilang permit, March 2021, pero na-raid na po sila ng December 2020 primarily for operating, no? So, illegal access device ang violation nila noon. So talagang even without documents, they were operating. Transfer lamang po ng shares ni Mayor Guo from her to that of Mr. Lopez, no? That was in preparation for her candidacy last 2022 when she filed her candidacy as mayor. Next slide po. Okay. So ito naman po yung pag-reassign ni Alice Guo ni Jack Lopez Oy to Mr. Bernard Chua, who now stands as the beneficial owner of Baupulan Development, which we are contesting sapagkat despite the fact that Mr. Chua appears to be so quote-unquote the owner on paper, in reality he is not the owner of this particular Baupulan Development. Next please. So na-raid na nga po ng CIDG again on March 2023 yung Baopu. By that time, Hong Sheng na po yung na-raid. Dahil sa raid na yon, binigyan po ng closure order ng PAGCOR ang Hong Sheng. Now, but if you take a look at that, despite the fact na na-raid na po yung Hong Sheng 2 times, December 2020 and March 2021, 2023, binigyan pa rin po siya ng business permit ni Mayora. This time, not for Hong Sheng, but for Sun Yuan. At this time, she is already the mayor of Bamban, Tarlac. Okay? Next po. So, makita po ninyo, yan po yung letter of no objection na in-issue nung Municipal Council during the incumbency of Mayor Guo. But then again, take note, on May 25, 2023, kinancel po ni PAGCOR yung Hong Sheng. No, so na-cancel po yung primary purpose of business nila. But there was no subsequent cancellation of the municipal mayor's permit despite the cancellation of PAGCOR. No? So dire-diretso po 'yan. Inisyuhan pa po niya ng business permit despite the fact na wala pong Bureau of Fire Protection inspection permit yung lugar na ito, no? So tuloy-tuloy po at wala hong certificate of accreditation and authority from PAGCOR. If they were to operate as an IGL/POGO, bakit pinayagan magkaroon ng permit? Wala na nga po silang lisensya magmula doon sa PAGCOR. Next po. Okay, so ito na nga po. Okay, then, na-raid na po natin siya sapagkat noong February 24, meron tayong Vietnamese national na nakatakas at nagpakita ng nagbigay ng kanyang testimonya na tinotorture po sila doon sa loob. By the way, with the indulgence of the committee, we have 5 foreign witnesses at the holding room together with 1 Filipino witness po, Mr. Chair.
Actually, they're inside. I allowed them to enter already. And as a matter of fact, medyo na ako doon kay Alice Go. That was discussed thoroughly in the Senate, and we don't want to focus on that anymore. What we wanted is those victims who were rescued. Are you going to use them as a petitioner?
Your Honor, some of them are classified as witnesses, some are complainants. But all of them are participants in our criminal litigation.
Okay, sige. Dun tayo focus. Sige, go ahead.
Okay. Mr. Chair, if that is the case, may I, with the indulgence of the joint committees, I think may I allow them to be presented na if their testimonies are of more important value to the committee rather than the presentation po.
Siguro members, no, allow na muna natin na i-present nila yung kanilang mga what do you call this witnesses, no? Para at least makita natin kung anong ginawa sa mga foreign nationals and for the international community as well, to realize that the Philippine government and this Congress is doing something on the complaints of their mga foreign nationals, dahil marami po tayo nadidinig that the Philippine government is not doing anything on those foreigners that are being rescued. But as a matter of fact, the direct intervention of the speaker who told us that we need to investigate this comprehensively. And that's the reason why we're doing this. Para sa ganun ay malaman po ng international community that we are doing our job in this country. Okay, Dr. Wilson, you can proceed.
May I first fetch our translator, sir, and one of the witnesses, so we could facilitate the presentation of your testimonies before the honorable committee. Say it again on mic, camera.
你看没 ？Hello， 就是等一下现在是做一个宣誓嘛，然后待会还会就是访问我们，就是说在里面就是的经过，就是我们工作受到怎么样的对待或者怎么样的，就给他们讲解一下。
Do you swear to tell
yeah.
the truth,
就是你宣誓就是发誓，对吧？
the whole truth,
全部都是属实的，呀，
and nothing but the truth?
就是没有说说谎，就是说说的东西都是属实的哦。
In this investigation.
在这个讲座会上。
Thank you. Please take your seat.
Dailan, tell them that we are doing this to protect them and also to protect the rights while they're here in the Philippines. Okay,
Mr. Chair, may
so
I
Dr.
provide-
Wilson, now you can proceed.
Sir, may I provide a context first? We have 5 foreign nationals. One was rescued from Bamban, Tarlac. Now, he was rescued upon the request of the Malaysian Embassy. We also have 4 Chinese nationals rescued from Porac, Pampanga. And we have 1 Filipina rescued from Myanmar. We presented the Myanmar victim to be able to provide context to the committee that the problem of scam farms is not just limited to the Philippines, but this is an inter-ASEAN problem. So, Mr. Chair, I would give the mic to the translator, Mr. Dylan.
Yes, go ahead. Please proceed, Mr. Dylan. By the way, Dylan is not your real name. It's your English name, right?
Dylan.
Okay, go ahead.
Nicknames.
Proceed by telling them how you were recruited in Bamban and your experiences in Sunligman.
Okay, so Mr. Dylan, can you kindly narrate to these 2 committees and to these resource speakers who are here, yung what happened to you first, no?
Okay.
Ikaw muna, then we will be asking the others, and then to
Okay,
you
sure.
translate that to us.
Sure.
So you start with how you were recruited, and then how you were put in that facility,
Okay.
and then how you were rescued or escaped, or
Yeah,
so
some things.
what are the surrounding circumstances
Okay, sure.
from the time that you arrived in this country to the moment that you were rescued by the PAOK-TF?
Okay.
Please proceed.
Okay, actually, I came in Philippines in 2021. Okay, that was I traveled in Dubai, and then transfer because our old company there already transferred over here. Okay, after that, okay, why I will be in Bamban Tarlac? Okay, when February 10th, that was almost Chinese New Year. That he tell me, then them say it's not allowed. And then actually, you need to, how to say, minimum, you need to work around half a year. After that, if without the payment, you already pay out the payment, and then I can get like freedoms or something like that. Yeah.
So, were you tortured?
Okay. When the times when I in Bamban there, and then I already get when I first day, you already give out my phone, my personal phone, and then I lost my contacts or maybe I just try to, how to say, just save myself until I get the phone, or maybe I find another way for contacts, and then after that I just try.
Were you tortured? Have a physical abuse or something?
The back, in the back.
Back?
No. In the face. The time them torture me in the face, and then I will report in.
You were slapped or you were punched?
Yeah, we will get punched.
How many times?
Just 1 or 2 times. That time I forget, but I feeling the first time is already drunk. Yeah.
What we are trying to portray here is the evil of the illegal activities that had been perpetrated in our country.
Yes, Your Honor.
And it was not done by the Filipinos. It was done by other foreigners in cahoots with Filipinos.
Okay.
Di ba? So, show mo sa amin yung mga videos
Yes, sir.
that medyo ako nung napanood ko medyo talagang offending sa atin eh.
Opo.
Binabastos sila ang ating gobyerno. Sige,
Opo.
go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Siguro, Secretariat, unahin natin yung binubugbog, yung subject for rescue pa natin, yung pinupukpok sa ulo. Yung pinupukpok po sa ulo kasi yun medyo... Ito pong unang video nung pinupukpok sa ulo, na-rescue na po ito, nakatakas na po ito, tinatago na po natin ito, and we're hoping to be able to create a story, to be able to depict his actual story, and hopefully maging subject din po ito ng operation.
Mr. Chair, while waiting,
Ito po siya. So, lalaki po ito. Siya po ay pinagpupukpok po dahil allegedly siya po ay nakatakas dun sa Lucky South 99. And the Chinese bosses are alleging na siya daw po ay isa doon sa mga nag-rat out sa kanila. Yung nag-squeal, nagbigay ng informasyon sa PAOK. Hindi naman po totoo, in all honesty, hindi po siya ang nagbigay sa amin ng impormasyon. So yun po yung konteksto ng torture video na yon. Next po, yung babae po. Ay,
Hindi, I suppose, Dr. Winston, marami kang video ng torture eh. We'll grant you that na maraming torture na nangyari and everything. Ewan ko kung gusto mong makita pa lahat yung torture. Ang tanong ko muna, can you, with regards to these four male witnesses that are present, how did they enter our country? Para lang mailagay natin paano napunta sa Pogo eh.
Opo. Chinek po namin yung entry visas po ng itong mga foreign victims po natin. Kadalasan ho sa kanila na dumadating po bilang tourist po yung kanilang visa. Then pag nandito na po sila sa Pilipinas, they convert their visas into 9G or yung working visa. Sa pakikipagtulungan po namin sa immigration, Your Honors, nakikita po namin na yung actual visas po nila ay hindi po doon sa actual na pogo na pinagtatrabahuan po nila. So, ibang kumpanya ang nakalagay doon sa kanilang working visa. Yun po ang kadalasan nakikita natin sa mga rates natin, Mr. Chair.
So, actually, hindi sila dumaan sa PAGCOR eh. Or yung kung ano man yung company na supposed to be applicant ng PAGCOR. Diba? Dahil paano nila ipapacilitate o bibigyan ng AER, Alien Employment Permit, kung pumasok sila as tourist, then nagpapakonvert na lang bigla. Dahil pag mag-expire na yung binigay na visa natin dito.
Mr. Chair, nakikipag-ugnayan nga po kami sa PAGCOR sapagkat nakikita namin nila Attorney Jessa na karamihan sa kanila wala ko talaga mga OGL, di ho ba ma'am? Pag nare-raid na po namin, saka lang namin nakikita na yung declaration po nila, halimbawa may declaration silang 30 na may OGL o yung online gaming employee license, 30 yung actual na declare, for example, pero ma-rescue po natin 300 to 800.
Kasi ang misconception namin, dinadala sila in groups to work as Pogo operators dito. Dadalhin sila sa hub. I-apply sila in batches para mabigyan ng visa. Ito kasi iba yung manner of entry nila, manner of how they were hired or paano ipinasok do sa ganung
Mr. Chair, allow me to provide proper context po. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair, for that question. Actually po, yung influx ng mga Chinese nationals working in Pogos started as early as 2017 to 2019. The peak was on 2019. Ano po yung phenomenon na meron tayo dito? This was the time na meron tayong visa upon arrival, specifically for the Chinese nationals. Yung mga visa sa pan-arrival po na yon, sa aming pag-aaral, nakita po namin, nagkaroon ng mga bultuhang conversions po, Mr. Chair. So, pasok po muna sila rito bilang mga turista, grupo-grupo po ang mga yan, pero later on, ang kanilang primary purpose po talaga, hindi maging turista, kundi pumasok po sa Pogo industry. Kaya lang, Mr. Chair, ang naging problema nga po, pag nandun na po sila, grupo-grupong kino-convert yung kanilang tourist visas into working visas, pero fraudulent po yung mga kumpanya. na kung saan nakapangalan po yung mga working visas po na yon. So meaning to say, Mr. Chair, most of the people that we find working in Pogos have been here for a number of years. Kagabi nga po, may nakausap ako, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years po sila sa Pilipinas na.
Okay.
Wala tayong dole representative.
Mr. Chair. We just have to finish yung videos. Lima na lang ata yun. I just wanted to present the evil of these illegal activities that was perpetrated. Ano? Isa pa lang yung nakita natin eh. What this chairman, this representation wanted is ma-establish lang muna natin yung evil nung ginawang illegal activity na yon. At basically we need to see this, no? So siguro doon muna tayo, and then we will be presenting siguro kasi meron atang isang Pilipino dito. Meron isang Pilipino dito, so siya yung ating pakinggan para makita natin kung anong ginawa sa kanya. Sige, go ahead.
Secretariat, yung sa babae po ba yung kasunod? Okay. Sige, tingnan po natin yung next torture. Ayan nga po, yan din po ay napagkamalan din po na di umano ay isa sa mga nagbigay sa amin ng impormasyon doon sa Lucky South. Nagtangka po yung tumakas, nahuli po dahil sa nahuli nga po siya. Ayan, ang kaparusahan po lagi talaga ay todo-todong pambubugbog o torture po.
求救我，我他妈求到你，好。
Inviting yung Filipino witness here, and afterwards we will be asking her ba? Babae ba siya?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Sige.
Next, please.
求救我，我他妈求到你，好。
Ayan po yung unang bahagi ng video kanina ng babaeng pinagtatatadyakan. Yan po yung nakatakas, nahuli, at ayan po yung kanyang inabot dahil sa tumakas po siya.
Mr. Chair,
Okay, Congressman Pancho.
pwede paki-request na i-translate yung sinasabi nung nananakit.
Siguro si Dylan, no? Dylan, no? Can you kindly translate kung ano
translate that?
sinasabi nung
Shall we proceed, Your Honor?
Oh, hindi. Meron pa ba? Yung kinukuryente dyan. Meron mga kinukuryente.
Yung kinukuryente po, opo. We beg the indulgence of the committee members about this one. Yan po yung purpose ng mga nakikita nating electric tasers sa mga nare-raid nating mga pogo hubs, mga scam farms po na tinatawag.
O next, dali. Ilan pa yan? Isa na lang.
Isa na lang,
Ito muna, ano yan? Sige, next na, next. Next.
last po.
And, actually, we have seen a video. Can you kindly tell us, Dr. Winston,
Yung sexual torture po.
yung sexual torture na ginagawa? But,
Before that, Your Honor, ito pong Malaysian po ito, was subject for rescue. Unfortunately, natagpuan po siyang patay nung nakaraang taon. Malaysian po ito. Humingi po ng tulong sa atin yung Malaysian Embassy, pero hindi na po natin inabotang buhay po yan. Now,
Mr. Chair, for the other videos, may we request, because some of us here do not have a low tolerance of, watching all of these tortures, especially women. May we request, Mr. Chair, that we don't no longer show these videos. Remember, we are live streaming on YouTube, and there are kids who may view these videos.
Yeah,
Kaya nga,
okay.
So can we request to
the very reason that
testimony and stories
Alright.
is enough.
Yes, we will do that. Congressman Richard Gomez. Actually, that is the last already, no? Okay, so Congressman Gomez, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Gruesome as it may be to show these videos, Mr. Chair, but it is very important for everyone to see what is happening inside the Pogo. Kasi mahirap yung nagkikwentuhan lang tayo eh. Minsan nakakatulog tayo ba nagkikwentuhan. But if people are seeing what is happening inside these Pogo hubs, then you feel the pain, you feel the torture, you feel the illegal activities that are happening inside, and then people are having an understanding. Ano bang ginagawa ng mga ahensya natin sa gobyerno? What are the LGUs doing? What are the PNP people doing? What is the BID doing? What are the accomplishments of the PA, the PAOK agency? All of this, Mr. Chair, that is why, sad as it may seem, pero dapat makita talaga ng tao. But I agree na ang dami nang nakita, then maybe we can already put a stop to this,
Yeah.
but
Actually,
we have to understand, Mr. Chair, na itong pogo na to is really hurting our society. It is corrupting our government. It has become a bedrock of corruption.
Actually, a while ago, I was telling this body that we're going to show it, not only because the direction of the speaker is to have a comprehensive investigation. And when members of the committee, specifically the Committee on Public Order, I asked if we're going to show the video. Precisely the very essence of the motu proprio is to investigate the illegal activities. And I must agree with Congressman Gomez na mabigat man po yung mga eksena, but we have to tell to the Filipino people and to the international community that this country, this government is doing something on their countrymen, especially yung mga Chinese, mga Burmese, Myanmar, lahat, whatever. Meron pong aksyon ginagawa ang ating bansa. And rightly also, Congressman Alonto, siguro we have shown already a lot, no? Siguro we stop on that, no? Meron naman tayo napakita ng mga almost 5 videos. But I have seen a lot of videos. I have seen. Others you cannot take anymore. Especially the abuse on the sexual torture. There was a sexual torture, man-to-man, pinaparusahan yung hindi sumusunod doon sa kanilang pinag-uutos. And siguro pupunta na po tayo dito last, and then after this, the members of these two committees can ask questions already. Okay, so ma'am, Pilipina po kayo. Okay, hindi ko na po mic po. Hindi ko na po tatanungin ang inyo pong pangalan. So ano po nangyari sa inyo sa loob po ng Pogo Hub?
Nung nag-decide po kami na uuwi na ng Pilipinas, nagpaalam po kami na uuwi na, hindi po kami pinayagan.
So in other words pala, kayo po ay nagtrabaho sa Pogo sa Myanmar?
Sa Myanmar po.
Okay. So doon kayo na-recruit papunta sa Myanmar?
Opo.
At tapos, paano po nangyari sa inyo? Nag-recruit po sa inyo dito sino? Mga Pilipinos as well?
Opo.
Sige, kwento niyo po.
Sa akin po kasi relatives ko Opo. Nag-usap po kami na pupuntahan ko siya sa Thailand, magkasama kami sa Thailand. Pinangkuhan niyo po ako na yung may working visa daw after, kasi 6 months lang po yung ano natin sa ibang bansa, di po ba? So, nung pagdating ko po doon po niya ako kinausap na yung magiging trabaho ko, hindi encoder. Kasi dito po sa Pilipinas, as encoder daw po sales marketing.
So ano naging trabaho niyo po doon?
Sales marketing. Yung po sa,
Sales marketing. Ano minamarket po
sabi
ninyo?
Makikipag-chat.
Makikipag-chat for, ano yan, parang kukumbinsi mo siya to invest, ganun?
Yes, to invest.
Or ito yung tinatawag na lab scam, na-involve ka rin sa lab scam?
Opo.
Paano ang ginagawa sa lab scam? Meron kayong parang, kasi I heard from PAOK TF na parang meron silang parang template.
Opo.
May template na binabasa na lang, tapos kinukonvince sila na ma-inlove sa inyo.
Opo. Pagdating mo po doon, may papabasa po sila sa iyo na mga script kung paano ka makipag-chat, kung paano ka makikipag-usap sa mga client na mayayaman.
Okay.
Tapos, syempre po, getting to know each other, sabihin mo po kung papakilala ka, as dun po sa model mo na napili. Tapos magpapanggap po na mayaman ka, lahat isi-share mo yung kung anong yaman ka. Tapos dun, pag na-pa-inlove mo na siya, dun mo na po siya kukonvince na
Pero may tatanong ako sa iyo kasi it was told sa akin that doon sa hub ando na yung mga meron kayong parang template na rin na may restaurant, merong
Opo.
gym. Kumbaga pakikita mo doon sa nalabs ka mo na nag-gym ka o kaya kumakain ka sa restaurant o kaya nasa swimming pool ka
Opo.
o kaya nasa kama ka.
Lahat po.
So lahat yung parang studio
Opo.
na kung saan pupunta ka na lang doon para makumbinsi mo yung may scam mo para mag-invest sa'yo.
Opo. May model din po kami. Iba po yung nakikipag-usap.
So yung mga model, pinakikita nyo sa video chat or pinakikita nyo lamang sa picture?
Pag makikipag-usap na po.
So may mga model din
call.
kayo na mga na nandun din sa hub
Opo.
na magagandang babae.
Meron po silang computer na yung kausap po nila dun na model namin, iba po yung magiging ano sa computer. Kung ano po yung napili mong model sa Instagram. May computer po sila na gano'n.
Ay, ang galing, ano?
Opo.
Okay, so yun yung love scam.
Opo.
At yung investment scam, pag nakuha na mo na sila ng pera,
Pag napainlove mo na po siya, syempre po makakukonvince siya na mag-invest sa cryptocurrency.
oo. So
Ano
may
po?
Bitcoin.
Opo. Through cryptocurrency po.
Okay, so yun ang ginagawa mo.
Opo, ako po yung nakikipag-chat, nakikipag-usap sa kanya. So, pag nakausap ko na siya, na pa-inlove ko na siya, kakausapin ko po yung model, makikipag-video call siya.
Okay. Yung paano ka tinorture?
Nung ano na po, 6 months, dapat po magpapaalam na po ako kasi nagkasakit din po ako doon.
Na-torture ka ba?
Opo. Ako
Ano
po
ginawa
yung
sa'yo?
sa babae na pinaka-torture po doon.
Okay.
Opo,
Sige.
nung nagpaalam na po kami, nag-decide na umuwi, syempre hindi po sila papayag kasi kung uuwi kayo, magbabayad kayo ng 7,000 USD.
Okay. Sige, anyway, you will be asked by the members of this committee. So we will be proceeding next to the dito muna po kayo para may tanong po mga members. So we'll be starting with the interpellators. Unahin po natin ang ating pong minority. As I have said a while ago, minority, then majority, minority, majority. Unahin po natin, the chair would like to recognize Congresswoman, Congressman Franz Castro. You are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So, thank you dun sa sinabi po